Hey guys, how you going? I'm just going to go through the BJJ belt system for you, straight from juniors, children, right through to seniors and 10th degree black belt. So first guys, your first belt's a white belt as a junior, and then you'll go you'll go grey, white, and then you'll have 4 stripes in between. So in between each belt, you'll get 4 stripes until you get the black belt. Cool. So some academies do, some academies don't, but we do here. It's more an incentive in between each belt, and just makes the grading structure, I think, a bit more stronger, just so people get to mature in their rank a bit. So again, like I said, we go from white belt to grey-white, and then full grey, and then grey-black, so with a stripe in between. Cool. And then you'll go to yellow belt. When your yellow belt will be yellow-white first, and then you'll go to a full yellow, and then yellow-black. And then from there you'll go to orange. You go orange-white, orange, full orange, and then orange-black. And then from there you'll go from green-white to green, full green, and then green-black. Cool. And you can't be, and then you'll get your a juvenile rank of blue belt, but you can't get a blue belt until you're 16. Cool. So when you're 16, if you're a green belt or orange belt and you turn 16, you'll automatically change over to a blue belt. Cool. Then from blue belt you start. Before you get to blue belt, if you're an adult, you'll start at white belt, and you work through the 4 stripes, and you should get a blue belt. So again, I'd say if you train solidly for a good 1.5 to 2 years, then you're pretty well on the level of the blue belt. Just depends on how much you train, how much you put into it in your own time. So your blue belt, first of all, let's say in between the progression of between white and blue, it's like 1.5 to 2 years. You'll learn basic break falls, your basic positions, your basic escapes. There's some basic fundamentals. Cool. And then just enough, where you can sort of get on par with the blue, and you feel good with blue, and you start rolling with blues, and you're on, you're in the same mix. Then you should get your blue belt by then. All right. Also, guys, again, some academies do formal grades where you have to go through a set syllabus, or some academies just go through, when they think you're ready for the blue belt, they'll give you the blue belt, with all belts. And then from blue, you'll get your 4 stripes to purple. Usually from blue to purple, that's sort of the biggest, longest, I think, journey, not so much journey, but length between belts, because usually a lot of people get the blue belt and then they start to sort of fall off a bit, and but going usually from purple anywhere from 3 years to 5 years, I would say. From white belt, from blue belt. So it just depends on how much you train. I find the purple belt level is probably one of the strongest levels in jiu-jitsu, as they've got a lot of technique, and they're very competitive. So I think for me to say, I would say the most dangerous belt would probably be a purple belt from there. All right, and then from the purple belt, we'll go 4 stripes. You'll get your brown belt, and then from that might be from purple belt to brown belt, might be 2 to 3 to 4 years. Just depends again on how much you train. And again, for me, I think the brown belt, I would call it more like the apprentice black belt. Like all the moves, but you got to get them in there and work more. And also, I find it's a very good start. A starting point of actually teaching, purple. So I think now with the IFBJJ, before it used to be purple belt, but now you have to be a brown belt to actually be assistant coach. So I think it's a real good time to teach, be able to teach and be able to, show techniques properly, and so your students can come up the ranks. And then from here, anywhere from brown belt to black belt, it just depends on how much time you put on the mat. Anywhere from, I would say, 2 years to whatever, so just, it could be any. So I'd say a rough estimate, or guesstimate, would probably maybe, if you're consistently training 3 or 4 times a week, once, twice a day, or once a day, I think maybe a good progression would be like 10 years, right? Then from here, you get your Dan, so you're a first degree black belt. So it works in 3 years. So 3 years, then you get your first degree black belt, and then another 3 years. So when you're a second degree, you would have been a black belt for 6 years, and then your third year you'll be a black belt for 9 years. And again, coming back to the black belt, this is really when the journey starts, you know. So I fully believe this is when you start to really work out, you know, your game, your journey, and what you do in jiu-jitsu, and you know, it's more of a lifestyle by then, you know, spending all that, you know, 10 years on the art. And then from here you've got your fourth degree. Now then it works in 5-year increments. So fourth degree, 5 and 6 will be 5 years, and then you get to a 7th degree black belt, which is a coral belt. It's the black and red belt, and then it works in 7 years increment, and then from there it works to black white, which again is your 8th degree black belt. And then after that, it's the full red, which is the 9th and 10th Dan, which so far only the Gracie, a lot of the Gracies and the original founders of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu are at the moment. So I hope that gave you a bit of an insight. Again, don't get caught up in the belt system too much, because you know sometimes you think you're ready for a belt and whatnot. Just let it happen, and then enjoy the journey. Because again, you know, it is a bit of cloth, but it is it is a good indication of where you're at, and it's good to keep the system nice and strong, and have a good balance of knowing, you know, where everyone is. Cool. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.